So this is an API automation project. So in here in common, I have two files. This is an init blank file, two files, REST util and the data util. So data util is basically using pandas to read the data from Excel file. So basically any constant and environment variables I will save in Excel file, then read that. And REST util is basically where all the actions related to request happen. So in here, first of all, I am creating a logger which can give me the log of every request and response. After that, I'm creating a common session because we need to use a authorization token in every request after the first request. So from the request or session, I'm creating a session where I'm setting the item this, then after login, I'm appending one more header in that is called authorization. And then I, based on the request, I created separate request. Like for get request, I have a method send get request, and in every request the common items which I'm testing is basically every request should have status code response as 200, and the total time taken to get the response should be less than 5. Okay, so after that, this is a common print header to print the response text, and I'm returning JSON data or the response data with a with JSON dictionary, where if required I can extract the data and validate that. Otherwise, I can extract this and verify the schema. So I've done that for get request, post request, then for put request and delete request, and then finally I'm using JSON schema validator to validate the schema. So the parameter of that is response JSON and the schema, and then based on that, if it validates and send out the output as true or false. Under endpoints, I have endpoints for various modules. So for agents, all these modules endpoints are there. For auth, these are the endpoints. Here, the base URL is extracted from test data file. And similarly for process, these are the process endpoints right now. I'm working on other ones. Payloads. So I created two response request payloads and response schemas. So request payloads actually has the payload. If required, we can move it to the Excel file also. But since right now we don't have much payloads, basically most of the APIs are GET APIs. So I created this. So here you can see if any API requires payloads, then it is present here. These values can be also appended in Excel file if needed. Response schema is basically for every API, I'm checking the schema because the data can change based on environment. So what I'm checking is the schema of APIs matches with the response. So this is the response schemas stored for all the API. If needed, that can also be taken to the Excel file. So now this is where I'm writing test. So I'm using Pytest to create test and run test. So I'm using order Pytest order to provide ordering. So this in here I am hitting the request based on the method type. So if it is a get request, then send get request. If it is a put request, then put request, post then post request with the endpoint as a parameter. And once the response is received, then I'm checking that there's using REST util again where if schema is correct. So if the schema is not there, then I'm verifying the length or items present in that particular response or the message. So I'm using Pytest for both running in as a single test, also to generate reports via multiple tests.